So let's run through a few of these. I got about 4 of them, if you don't mind. His failure with the school system. Rahm Emanuel would try to convince you to believe that he's done right by our schools, and he keeps repeating the same 2 talking points. If I hear that man say full-day kindergarten one more time, let me tell you about full-day kindergarten. What he doesn't tell you is that he mandated full-day kindergarten without funding full-day kindergarten. But what that means is that principals like me had to decide what to cut to meet his mandate, which meant that we had to increase class sizes so that we could afford the extra teachers, which meant that we had to end library programs so that we could afford the extra teachers. So what happens is that kids get an extra half day of school in their first year and then get overcrowded classrooms for the next 12. Kids get an extra half day of school in their first year but don't have a librarian for the next 12. You can't feed a child well in his first year of life and then malnourish him for the next 12 and claim that you're doing right by that child. In the same way, you can't give a kid an extra half day of school in his first year and then starve his education for the next 12 and then claim you're doing right by our schools. Rahm Emanuel has failed our schools. We don't need a mayor who will pretend that he's done the schools a favor in 1 year when he's actually reduced the quality of the entire educational spectrum. We need a mayor who will fund our kids right from kindergarten to 12th grade, and that mayor is Julie Garcia. He also talks about the high school graduation rate. He says the graduation rate has improved. What he doesn't tell you, but what a Catalyst and WBEZ report will tell you, is that he's increased the graduation rate by manipulating statistics. He's counting alternative programs that never counted before, that the Illinois State Board of Education doesn't recognize, that CPS didn't even recognize before Rahm Emanuel became mayor. We don't need a mayor who will increase the graduation rates by manipulating statistics. We need a mayor who will increase the high school graduation rate by actually increasing the number of students who graduate from high school. Next failure, pensions. Now, Rahm Emanuel, after 4 years, he has failed. He failed in 2011 to secure teacher pensions and other pensions. He failed in 2012. He failed in 2013. He failed in 2014. And now in 2015, he tells us he has a plan to secure our pensions using funds that he said he wouldn't use before. We asked him to use tips in 2011, he failed. 2012, he failed. 2013, he failed. 2014, he failed. And now in the debate, I hear him talking about 12 tips now that it's election time. The best predictor of future behavior is past behavior. If he failed to use them before, he'll fail to use them if you give him another 4 years. That's right. Now, my last and probably one of the most disgusting failures that he tries to remake into a success is when he addresses the violence, the murder rates, and the shootings. You may have seen him in the last debate. He talked about how he visits the grieving mothers of slain children and attempts to comfort them. We need a mayor who will do more than visit grieving mothers after their children have been murdered. We need a mayor who will do everything in his power to prevent them from being murdered and shot down in the streets in the first place. And so those tens of thousands of people who decided that they had made a mistake were right. But on April 7th, we will have an opportunity to correct that mistake. On April 7th, we are going to go to the polls and let the world know that we're going to correct that mistake. People talk about the $30 million that he has in his campaign war chest. But people don't understand that elections are made by people.
That's right.
And that people of Chicago have experienced Rahm Emanuel.